Let's talk about teams. So in this session, once again joined by Tom, we're gonna talk a bit about Empowering Cloud. What is this actually?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Lars. So Empowering Cloud, my history is all around kind of Teams and OCS and Link and like that kind of enterprise journey. And all through that, I was doing speaking and blogging and involved in the community. I kind of wanted to create something where we could get all the subject matter experts together and share knowledge. So rather than doing it as a side gig around consulting, I work part-time for a carrier called Pure IP, and all the rest of my time goes into Empowering Cloud. And we have a website, a portal where we have various subject matter experts, including some people on this call who provide like expert content. We have a newsletter. We do a monthly Teams fireside chat with someone from Microsoft. The whole idea is just to help people understand what's going on in the Microsoft space and kind of spread the knowledge, really.
And it's really awesome. I mean, yeah, as you're saying, I've created some content, but I also listen in and seeing other subject matter experts coming up. I mean, it's really high quality videos that are there and the monthly review and so on. So, I mean, I really can't emphasize enough that please sign up, and underneath this video we'll put a link to Empowering Cloud page.
Thanks.
It is really a great community, and it is again community driven. So I mean, people are really doing an extra effort for
yeah, I really appreciate that, Carsten. Yeah, we're trying to find the best. Like, it's not about me. It's about bringing people together. Obviously, I'm helping drive it, and there's a team that help. But it's bringing people together, whether it's the fireside chats, whether it's the MTD AMA, whether it's the newsletter, and it's no one person can understand what's going on in this space. We need to come together.
But who is your focus group of people in there? Is it the IT administrators, or is it the end users, or is it the integrators?
Yeah, good question. It's definitely not end user. It's kind of industry professionals, we say. So it's typically service owners or architects in enterprise. And it's consultants, ISVs, like AV partners, anybody who's in our kind of space. So on the enterprise side, it tends to skew to people that have, there'll be a product owner for Teams or Exchange, or there'll be the overall Microsoft 365 product owner, or there might be operations, but really anybody that wants to understand what's going on in the kind of, Microsoft UC and now increasingly Microsoft 365 and Copilot stack.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to understand everything. I mean, I watch quite often the settings, even though it's not what my main focus, but I like to be updated on some stuff and learn new stuff. So it's a great way to kind of follow along and learn new stuff, even though it might not be your main focus.
Yeah, and that's very much the objective. So it's nice to hear. Is I spend a ridiculous amount of time like reading the blogs, keeping up with everything, talking to Microsoft, talking to customers, and I'm trying to synthesize that down to. So I do the 15-minute monthly update, and it's like, here's everything that I think matters, hopefully in some easy to understand way. But again, we have the podcast, we have the SME briefing. So when we need to have, we had Eric on who did a E911 special. We've had people talk about all the different sub features of Teams. So it really takes the whole community to bring that knowledge together.
Yeah, I quite like it. Yesterday you sent out a newsletter as well, so it keeps up to date with what's kicking in this area space, right? So, and if you haven't been following up on all the LinkedIn posts and blog posts, etc., then the newsletter I don't know how often it comes, but
once a month at the moment, and I'm thinking about bringing that to once every couple of weeks. So it takes again a surprising amount of time to pull together, but I do a lot on LinkedIn. I'm very heavy on there. I love it, but most people don't have the time, so they just like that 15-minute update video does really well, and the newsletter does really well because people who have a day job just need to, you said, Lars, need to catch up quite quickly on everything that matters in our space.
You should have the fireside every second week, as you have right now, and then you should have the the newsletters every second week, so you combine them like that.
So what we try and do at the moment is I try and block my mornings to do content, and obviously there's a bit we should talk about here, which is we have sponsors who support what we're doing. So we have a team. We have Lindsay, who's a community manager. We have Kevin, who runs all our research, and we haven't talked about the research. We have a whole bunch of research around comparing the ecosystem solutions, so things like bars and rooms and recording. So
are you going as far as also having the carbon footprint of the products, etc.? Are you looking into this?
Do you know what? Actually, we had that request for the first time a couple of months ago, and I've seen recently, like Logi as an example, are doing really good work around there. So I think at some point it will come in as a comparison point. We get lots of asks at the moment around OEM tooling. So like the bars, you can obviously compare megapixels and specs, but actually the tooling is becoming a really important part of the conversation. Is it included? Is it extra? What capabilities does it have? I love this space. It's always so fast moving. Like there's always something to do, really.
Zero touch rollout, all that stuff. How can you do that? And yeah, agree.
Yeah,
that's.
But yeah, if you
I think
sorry, last go.
No, I think it's quite amazing because even though that I work full time and some of my spare time as well, and it's still so hard to keep up with everything. And I think like having your your team and catching everything else and then share the information, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That was the goal, and the sponsors have been great. So they see value in, on the newsletter, we say thanks to them. We do webinars and bits and pieces. So that's the give get there. But yeah, the numbers are all going in the right direction. It seems to be adding value to people. And I'm always looking for feedback as well. So if people are listening into this show, welcome feedback on what we should be covering, what's valuable to you. But yeah, hopefully we're creating a really sustainable community that we can keep pumping value into that content.
It's perfect. Awesome. Amazing.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Well, keep the videos coming, Carsten.
Yeah, I was just sitting with a bad conscience because I think I owe you one, and I'll get it done. So yeah.
Yeah, and likewise, appreciate what you guys are doing with this show. I always tune in. I like the 15-minute or less format. That I can make time for that. It's always fun to hear your conversations.
Thanks.
But Tom, I thought you said that there were clever people on your channel, so Carsten.
So you're out last now. You're off the next podcast.
I'm out. Okay. I think it was such amazing to have you on, and I definitely think that we should recommend everyone to go on and follow you, both on LinkedIn, but definitely also follow everything that you would do and the team you have behind it. So thanks a lot for joining. We're going to share the link as well, Empowering.cloud. But thanks a lot for joining us on Let's Talk About Teams. And thank you out there for watching us. See you out there. Bye.
Bye.